can be expressed through 3 different genres. Now, the main focus is going to be, well, the main genre that we're going to be talking about is the game of reality. The game of reality is quantum immortality. Quantum immortality, let's talk about it. So, just like a regular game, just like any game you could think of, say you pick the body of a character. You transform this character into clothes, into fashion, into the different hairstyles it's given. Do they want to be a good character? Do they want to be a bad character? You do all of this fixated, right, on surrounding this character's identity. When the game starts, just like every game, it has an ending, depending on decision or depending on consciousness. In the game, you play the game, and there will come a time, there will come a situation where, okay, this character is now, okay, it's stuck. How is it going to get out? How is it going to continue? Is it going to continue living on or not? This character can be faced with death. Or in some games, they got the X and it's, they just die, right? But it will come a time where the game, it'll have like this this script. It says, oh, well, you want to continue living on? You get this many lives right here, and if you get I haven't played games in a while. Not video games. But if you get, let's say you got 5 lives, but you got to buy a life. But anyway, you get these 5 lives. You choose to live on, to continue living the game, or you end the game altogether and start over. Starting over, reincarnation. That is the other genre of death, reincarnation. But in this game of reality, you get to choose whether or not you want to continue living on or not, and the same character or same vessel that you already have. Now, how does this reflect with quantum immortality? Game of reality is the game of consciousness. That consciousness, if you choose to, okay, the 5 lives represents the 5 different realities, not 5 different realities, but 5 parallel realities to the game that you're already playing. So you're just choosing another life to continue the process of your existence. Okay? So this is quantum immortality. Because the consciousness has no concept of death or time. It continues to live on. And you may realize, okay, you may experience deja vu. You may experience something that has already happened, but you can't really figure out how. That is because your consciousness has shifted. And because your consciousness has shifted, you may not be aware of it. But if you think, okay, this I already experienced this before. Yeah, but your consciousness has shifted into another level or into another life parallel to the one that you already had, that you were supposed to die in. So in the game, so in the video game, that person, a good example would be Subway Surfers. They get multiple lives. Or you got like a key, or the keys represent the multiple different realities, so you can continue to live on. Same thing, quantum immortality. This character in the video game, they get to have their consciousness live in the reality that they know of, so they never die. But every one of us dies. Everybody has died. If you've experienced deja vu, you have died, but your consciousness has shifted. And because quantum immortality exists, you can think of family. Your family isn't your family. Because there are, when it comes to death, what do you call it? I'm looking for the word for Mandela effect. Mandela effect. People have died in our lives, but just like celebrities, right? We remember, okay, that person died that year ago. They died many years ago. Nah, they died just this year. That's trippy. Mandela effect. Mandela effect. There are people, families, they have died, but they continue to live on. They don't really die. Okay? We are just experiencing multiple versions of them. We are all experiencing multiple versions of one another, because we have all died in each other's realities. But there may be, for instance, you may know somebody that's died, but you be like, what? I thought I heard this person. I thought I heard about this person's death, but come to find out they're actually alive. So time, death, is an illusion, because there are people, and there may be people in your life that you think have died, but there are other people who are experiencing them in their world. Trippy. So just because you experience the person that has died, and they are declared dead, another person may be living in a coexisting world with them. So they never really died. And or they could have actually physically died and been sent up. But it's all about our awareness of death. How do you view death? Okay. You know what? That person died. We may have died in a person's life, but they have no concept of it. They have no concept of death. They have, no concept of us being in their world, but we are living and functioning in another world that we coexist in with another person. Trippy. But death is just a reboot. It's a reboot of life. If you think about it, we're just rebooting our system, whether it's through reincarnation, quantum immortality, or a dark night of the soul. All of these concepts, or all of these genres of death, are just giving us a reboot of reality.